Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show. This is part 3, The Making of a Monster. Now, I've been in the cell with Max for over a year now. And the confidence that I have has grown. He sees it, he likes it, and he treats me as an equal. Almost. Because I'm still collecting debt for him. I'm still beating up people for him. And then sometimes we even go together to beat people up. But the turning point came the day that we were confronted. See, in prison, everything is constantly changing. You're never going to be on top all the time. And you're not going to be on the bottom all the time. You understand what I'm saying as far as the pecking order in the penitentiary goes? There's always going to be somebody coming to challenge you because they want what you have. They're either going to get you directly heads up in a fight, or they'll use the police to get you by telling on you, getting you set up or whatever, right? But see, what me and Max were doing was something that had to be dealt with violently, physically, in a fight. We had so many people on the compound afraid of us that they had gotten together, put money together, dope together, and paid somebody to get rid of us. And when they came at us, they came to kill us. But we were so arrogant that we didn't even run. We ran into them. Yeah, we were stuck, and they were stuck, but we whooped them. But at the end of the day, we all went to the hole together. And just back in this day, I'm going to keep it real, back in that day, you don't stay in the hole for a long time. So that's not an answer. You don't get shipped. You understand what I'm saying? Like you do today. You go to the hole, you get your write-up, you do your whole time, and you get back out. Fights happen in prison. This is what it is. So when we got back out of the hole, we heard about all of the people that were trying to get rid of us. So you know what it is. It's pay-up time. So we went cell to cell, unit to unit, letting it be known we ain't going nowhere. And if you want to get rid of us, you're going to have to kill us. Now you got to keep in mind, a little bit over a year ago, I was afraid to even fight. Now I was telling people that if you want to get rid of me, you got to kill me. I was standing beside a real maniac. A real maniac that had turned me into a maniac. All because I wanted to be accepted. I had gotten my first taste of steel. I had been stuck. I had real war wounds. My father and my brother didn't even recognize the person that I had become. I was a real animal in the trenches, and I liked it. I liked that taste in my mouth when I was about to go get it. I liked it. Sometimes I would bite down on my jaws so hard that I could taste the blood in my mouth right before I got ready to fight. It's like an animal. And nobody could tell me that I was wrong. Not my father, not my brother. I had stopped going to my therapist. My counselor, even when she called me in to talk to me, she would tell me, you're going the wrong way. You're following behind somebody that's going to lead you into the depths of hell. If you keep following them. I looked at her. She don't know what she's talking about. At all. Running around with Max and learning everything that Max taught me about prison and about surviving this environment. made me the man that I am today. And that's why I was like able to do the things that I was doing. I was strong enough to make people understand that I meant what I said. And I said what I meant. And I would smack you around to make you get it. But the day was coming for me, and it wasn't long. Me and Max were talking in the cell one night, and he told me that we had another threat on the horizon, and that we were in danger for real this time. And if we were going to make our stand, that we had to hit first. Because instead of them sending 2 people to deal with us again, it's going to be multiple people. And they were all strapped. So instead of us waiting on the hit squad to come and get us, we went and got the people that paid the hit squad. And we went real hard. And sometimes when you go hard, like one of the things that we like to say in here, if you step on my toes, I'm going to break yours. When we went, we broke their toes. Broke them. And this time, we did leave a body laying in the middle of the pod. And this time, we did go to the hole and we were charged. Here I am in prison with a 12-year sentence. And now I have a fresh murder charge because I was listening to somebody that believed in the lifestyle, that lived the lifestyle, that breathed it. I was listening to them and doing everything that they wanted me to do because I believed that it was the right thing to do for me to be a man, to make me feel whole, to make me feel something other than the pain that I was feeling about my mother. I did everything that he said do, even when we went to trial. He told me to keep my mouth shut. I kept my mouth shut. My father and my brother were there every day at the trial. They even paid for me a lawyer. Again, spending money on me because I was throwing my life away. They didn't want to see me spend the rest of my life in prison. They knew that I was acting out because of my mother's death. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. It turned me into a monster. This man had turned me into a monster. And it was almost like I was appreciative to him. But hey, there's a little good in all of us. Max took the stand against his lawyer's advice. He tells me to shut up and sit down, but he takes the stand. I didn't know what he was doing. While I was sitting at the table, my lawyer leans over and said, "What is he doing?" I said, "I don't know." And my lawyer said, "Do you think he's finna put it on you?" I said, "I don't know. He wouldn't do that to me. I don't think." And he gets up on that stand and he raises his right hand and swears to tell the truth. And when he sits down and his lawyers are cross-examining him and saying these things to him, he said, "It was all me." I knew that I had stabbed that man. I knew where I stabbed that man. And when the coroner was on the stand and he was talking about the autopsy report, he said that the fatal blow was the blow that was to his kidneys from the back on the right side of his body. I did that. But Max got on the stand and said he did it. And he said he made me go with him under duress, that he had threatened my life if I didn't. And I'm sitting there and I saw Max look over at me. And he was saying these things as if it was true. And I looked at him. And my eyes filled with tears because he's doing something for me that I don't think I could have done for him. I didn't know what to think. All I knew now was that I was going to represent him. No matter what happened to me, the lessons that he had taught me, I was going to live them to the fullest. So when the jury came back, they found both of us guilty. They didn't buy the story totally. They found Max guilty, first degree, popped him down. But they found me guilty of a lesser included offense. Popped me down. But at the sentencing, the DA ran my time in concurrent with the 12 that I had, but not for Max. They ran Max's time consecutive to what he already had. Max was already going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And now he just added to that. So when they took us back to the holding tank, and we were in the holding tank, and I asked him, I said, why? Why? And he said, man, I don't know. He said, I was sitting at the desk, and something told me to get up and do it. I said, so your lawyer didn't know? He said, not until I told him that I wanted to testify. He told me not to, but I told him I was going to. You don't know what came over you. He said, I don't know what made me do that. And he said, if I had it to do again, I wouldn't. He said, I wouldn't do it. We sat there in the holding tank, not saying a word. And then here comes the corrections officer, the people from the Department of Corrections. They gave Max a white jumpsuit, which meant he was going to lock down on Max. And they gave me the orange jumpsuit. I was going to be put in the hole, but I was going to go back to the general population. I don't know how long I'm going to be in the hole, but I'm going back to general pop. They wasn't maxing me out. It seemed that even though the jury still found me guilty, that the prison officials believed what Max had said. And they were going to cut me some slack. Can you believe that? They thought I was a victim. They thought he forced me to do it. This big bad lifer, this career criminal, had forced me to participate. It wasn't true. I wanted to do it. So I thought. I didn't understand how strong manipulation was at that time. So now, instead of me having just 12 years to do, I had a 25-year sentence. They ran it concurrent. So that meant I had a few more years beyond the 12 to do, but I would get out one day. And as they put us in the back of the wagon to take us back to the prison, I could see my brother and my father. They were standing there. They were looking at me like confused as to what's going on. What? They're looking at me. They don't know me anymore. They don't even recognize the person that I am. I couldn't understand why they were looking at me like that. I'm still the same person. I'm still his son. I'm still his brother. I'm just not taking no mess from nobody. Not even my mother. See, the truth was I was angry. But I couldn't admit it. I was angry because she left me. But I couldn't admit that. I couldn't admit it. And because I couldn't admit it, I was open to anything and anybody's manipulation. And Max knew it. That's how he got out. So see, now Max is back on lockdown. And the years are passing by. And I'm on the compound. I'm letting it be known. What it was before is what it is now. But this time, now, everybody know, play games you want to, put you in a box, put you in the ground, have you cold and stinking. Yeah, just like that. So now ain't nobody playing with me. They dropping it off. And then I'm making sure Max is straight. Keeping money put on his books. Sending commissary back there to him. Then one day, I get a letter in the mail. And he's telling me, don't send him no more money. Don't send him no more commissary. And then at the bottom of the letter, he says something that I had never seen or heard him say. Never seen or heard him say. And he said, I love you. And I didn't know how to take that. I didn't know how to take what he said. Is he gay? It's the first thing to hit my mind. Is this what this all has been about? See, that's how naive you will be when you're wrapped up in all this nonsense and not seeing and thinking clearly. I didn't understand what he meant when he told me that he loved me. So it was this dude that had gotten off of Max, and he came to the compound, and he came out there, and, you know, he's one of these Bible thumpers, you know. Always had a Bible in his hand and walking around talking about God loves you and all this and that. Don't nobody want to hear that. I didn't. But he pulled up on me one day. He said, I got a message from Max for you. I said, oh yeah, what my brother doing? And he said, he told me to tell you that he loves you. And he's sorry for everything that he taught you. Because he know he misled you. I stood there and I looked at him. I said, what you talking about? He said, I'm just telling you what he said, man. And he went on to say, he said, man, he's changed. I said, what you mean he's changed? He's not the same person that you knew. He's found God. I looked at him and I started laughing. Because I know that Max ain't found no God. Max think he God. So I said, yeah, right. Then I walked on off. Went on about my business because I know he ain't talking about nothing. But then when I got back to the cell, I'm thinking about it. And you know, I gotta sell it now that I'm teaching the same way Max taught me, right? So I'm telling him what this Bible thumper done come and told me about Max, and we in there laughing about it. We in there laughing about it. But when I laid down that night, I started thinking about the letter that he wrote me, telling me to not send him any more money and don't send him no more commissary. I'm thinking, why would he do that? And then in his letter telling me that he loved me, why would he do that? What is he saying? What is he trying to tell me? And I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure it out. All night I'm laying there wondering, what is Max trying to tell me? He must be talking in code. Something's going on. I'm thinking that. It's got to be something good. Because this is real confusing. I got to figure it out. So I lay there and I lay there and I lay there and I still got nothing. So the next morning, when I got up, it hit me. It hit me what he's trying to say. He finna get out. finna get out of the hole, and he don't want no heat. He don't want nothing to mess that up. So that's why he don't want me to send him no money, no commissary. He don't want no heat right now. That's all that was. Max got game. So I stopped because I respect it. I'm going to tell you the rest of this story in the next episode, so please tune in, right? This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all. I'm getting